Professor Black Ops, you see it. Let's get it. Crooked codes, FBI QR code scams. When you go to dinner and you scan your QR codes to get your menu, you could be getting your phone hacked. So let's get into this quick article. Super short. Let's just get in and out and get to it. Um, QR code scams are on the rise. Here hired to avoid getting duped. Cyber criminals are increasingly using malicious QR codes to trick consumers. We're not gonna play the video, but you see it right there. You scan your QR code menu or for other things. You see QR codes just about everywhere these days. The square barcodes show up everywhere. Real estate listing, TV ads, social media posts touting what looks like a great deal on a must-have item. The pandemic fueled the surge in use of QR codes, seeking to cut down on possible transmissions. Restaurant replaced physical menus available to all customers with online versions accessible on your personal phone. Scan the little squares and you'll find out what the house special is, right? So once again, trying to cut down transmissions. Everybody's doing it. Restaurants are really doing it. So cyber criminals quickly took note and are starting to exploit the technology undeniable convenience. Scammers are creating their own malicious QR code designed to dupe unwitting customers into handing over their banking or personal information. Anytime new technology comes out, cyber criminals try to find a way to exploit it. Vice President of Security at F5, an app security company that's especially true with the tech like QR codes, which people know how to use but might not know how they work. It's easier to manipulate people if they don't understand it, right? So they don't understand it, they just start using it, they scan it with their phone, and voila, right? It just works, right? That's the beauty of technology, and in cybersecurity, that's how you get taken advantage of, right? The QR codes abbreviation stands for quick response, were invented in Japan in 1990. They were first used by the automotive industry to manage production, but we but have spread everywhere. Websites, apps have cropped up that let you make your own QR codes. Now they're being exploited by cyber criminals in the spin on an email phishing scam. Scanning a bogus QR code won't do anything to your phone, such as download malware in the background, but it will take you to a scammy website designed to get bank accounts, credit cards, or other personal information. Like any other phishing scam, it's impossible to know exactly how often QR codes are used for malicious purposes. Experts say they will represent a small percentage of overall phishing, but numerous scams involving QR code have been reported to the Better Business Bureau, especially in the past year. Most recently, the FBI issued a warning advising consumers to think about that before they scan potential sketchy QR codes. Many people know that they need to be on the lookout for phishing links and questionable attachments in email that purport to be for your bank. But thinking twice about scanning a QR code with their smartphone camera isn't second nature to most people, right? Because once again, it's brand new. It just really came out. So people really don't think from a cybersecurity standpoint with those QR codes. Taking advantage of unsuspecting motorists have been behind nearly 30 malicious QR code stickers recently found on parking meters in Austin, Texas, which use QR code technology to let drivers pay for parking online. Instead of being taken to the city's authorized website or app, hired motorists who scanned the scam sticker were led to a fake website that collected their credit card information. Police don't know how many people were duped. The department encouraged anyone who think that they have their credit card information stolen by a fake website to contact them. Austin isn't the only city to experience bogus QR code scams. Officially in San Antonio, Texas, about 80 miles away, issued warnings after spotting similar sticker connected to fake parking payment websites. So you think you're paying for your parking pass, but you're actually getting scammed, right? So QR codes take people from a physical world to an online one. That's why it makes sense to use them in scam stickers as well as paper junk mail. Haas says scam QR codes are starting to show up in phishing emails. and online ads, the tactics that has them scratching his head. There are really no reasons for someone to pull out their phone and scan a QR code that's in the email that they're looking at on their laptop. After all, the receipt is already online with the laptop. Why would a legitimate sender want them to connect with a second device? For that reason, consumers should regard any email containing a QR code to be suspicious, right? Still, phony codes show up in fishy emails, uh, though not as often as tried and true tactics like attachments containing viruses like scam websites. Cofins recently spotted a phishing scam targeting a German speaker, including a QR code in an attempt to lure the mobile banking user. Right. So you see on the screen, that's the email, that's the QR code. You should be super suspension of a QR code and actually in an email. Right. That should be no off the top. Don't scan it and really delete that email ASAP. Hackers might like using QR code and phishing emails because they often aren't picked up by security software, giving them a better chance to reach intended target. That attachment or bad link said. Even if the success rate is low, it's a lot easier to send out millions of phishing emails than to physically place stickers on parking meters and bus stops. Right. What it boils down is that QR codes are just one more way for cyber criminals to get what they want, and yet another threat people need to be on the lookout for. There's so many ways for you to be compromised these days, but it only takes one. Right. So here's a couple of tips, and we're just gonna scan through them super quick. Tips from the experts: think before you scan. Be especially wary of codes posted in public places. Codes embedded in emails are almost always bad. Take Haas's advice and skip these entirely. The same goes with for codes you receive an unsolicited junk email. Those are offering help with debt consolidation grants before. Preview the code's URL. Many smartphone cameras, including iPhones, run the latest version of iOS will give you a preview of the code URL as you start to scan it. If the code looks strange, you might want to move on. Right. So that's the beauty. Lots of phones, like he says, before you scan it, it show you the URL at the top, so you can make a decision if you want to continue with that URL. Use a password manager. As with all kinds of phishing, if a QR code takes you to a especially convincing fake website, a password manager will know the difference and want to autofill your password, how it says. So once again, be on the lookout for those fake QR codes. We want to keep you safe in 2022. It's dangerous out here, and once again, different ways for you to get hacked. Right? QR codes are bad. Be super careful with them. Professor Black Ops, cybersecurity for the people. Please subscribe.